And you know what the answer is? You really do. You don't like it. I don't like it. It scares me. Shootings, gun laws, access to weapons. Oh, I know when they'll change. Your kids start getting killed. White people's kids start getting killed. A white kid, oh, big family, that house over there. Those start piling up. What is going on with these police? Oh, what? Maybe we shouldn't even have police. That kind of mania, that kind of madness, that'll be you. And you know what the answer is.
Okay. So y'all just heard that little small clip right there from Chris Cuomo, who of course you know is over at CNN. And this was, I don't know when he posted, but I think it was shortly after what happened with the Adam Toledo kid when he made that statement. And they always say that a broke clock is right twice a day. I have my issue with the Cuomo brothers, as y'all already know, or should know. In case you didn't know, now you do. But I have to say that I agree 100%, probably even more, with the statement he just made. Because this is a statement that we have been saying, or we have said, or some form of fashion for quite some time. Palm-colored people, for the most part, for the majority, for the collective, will not feel any type of way about situations like what has been going on, especially with black people, with the police, until that type of energy is brought to their doorstep. That's just the bottom line. Because it's not happening to them, they are going to always feel like, oh, because it's not happening to me, I have nothing to worry about. And because it's not happening to me and it's happening to them or the others, why should I feel some type of way about it? What impacts their life or what goes on with them has nothing to do with me. And think about this also. They are some of the same ones that will always be saying something along the lines of, well, they should not have resisted. You know, all they have to do is obey. This, that, and the third. They basically turn into this whole, you know, Mr. and Miss holier than thou type of person, that they are the pinnacle of, you know, purity. Because you know the color white means pure. And it's crazy because they say that we need to stop resisting and stop doing this and stop doing that. But I and so many others who do these commentaries have presented so much evidence over the years of PC being very belligerent with law enforcement. Sometimes to the extreme where the law enforcement who they're being belligerent with ends up becoming a casualty, meaning they end up dead because of it. We've seen how they've acted with the police when they went and stormed the Capitol back in January. And they want to gloss over that as if that was some kind of incident that just happened. That's how they want to treat it as. They want to treat that as something that can just be overlooked, and that is not going to be etched in, like they're not going to be talking about this for years to come. That's what they would prefer. But I bet you if it was a group of black people or other non-white people, they would have harped on that for a long, long time. The thing is, when it comes to PC, as a majority, as a collective, is they want to do their dirt out in the open, but treat it as if they did their dirt in private. As if none of us see when they do what they do. And when our dirt comes out into the open, they want to keep it plastered out there because they know what makes headline news. This goes into the video that I just recently did when it talked about White Lives Matter and how it's so fake and phony. Like, they only care about White Lives Matter when, you know, they only say that because they want to be front and center. They want to be attention whores. But when it comes to palm colored doing the stuff that they do, against their own, then they're quiet about it. But they'll make noise, though, if it's so-called black on black crime or a crime where a white person kills maybe another black person, then they'll make some noise because it was now an interracial crime. But when it comes to that intraracial amongst them that they don't like to talk about, then they stay dead silent on it every single time. It never fails. And there's plenty of facts to even back that claim up. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's almost like it's a phenomenon at this point. But I can't even fault Chris Cuomo for saying what he said. And he had a lot of balls to say that on a public platform. But you know what? I have a feeling they're not going to get rid of Chris Cuomo because he said stuff like this before in the past and he still has a job. But I bet you that if it was a black person that said that, and before y'all get into it, I don't really count Donna because we know why they ain't gonna get rid of him. But if it was someone like myself up there, they would have pulled the plug on my entire show. For real. I'm almost certain of it. But like I said, what he said, he wasn't lying. And this is coming out of the mouth of a PC man who I think is of Italian descent, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, PC is probably going to feel some type of way about it. But you know, they feel some type of way about a lot of things. It is what it is. But I don't really have much left to say as it pertains to this topic. I just wanted to bring that to your attention just in case y'all haven't heard what he said. But like I said, what he said was not a lie. And to be honest, what he said is not new. So I just want to throw that out there right there before people come in and say, oh, you're just only saying this because a white guy said it. No, I've been saying that. Us as black people have been saying that. It's just that it's rare that you'll have a white guy or a white person, period, actually say that and actually genuinely mean what they say, what comes out of their mouth. And then have the nerve to say it on an international platform such as CNN. Because I already know, I know the network has probably gotten so many calls, they probably like, oh, we need to get him up out of there because he's talking about us and this, that, and the third. But the thing is, if you asked him if he's lying, what would your response say? Many of them will probably say that he is. But to be quite honest, like I said before, he's not lying. He's actually very much telling the truth. This whole police reform that they like to always swing around and talk about will go into effect in a heartbeat if more PC kids were being affected by what our children are being affected by. This whole police reform thing that they keep rotating and recycling will go into effect faster if more of them were on the forefront of being under attack by these terroristic cops. And the thing is, they'll say, well, it is more of us that are being affected by it. But, you know, mainstream media, they like to not talk about it and this, that, and the third. Well, like I said in my other video, who owns the media? Who owns the media? Exactly. Y'all do. PC owns the media at large. If you really, really wanted to talk about how the cops are coming in and doing this, that, and the third to your community like you claim they are, you would have been done that and said something. But the point of the matter is you don't want them to put that on you because then that means now you have to take that mirror and look at yourself. Self-reflect. And many don't want to do that because you don't want to be seen as the community that has been pointing fingers and wagging their finger at everyone else while trying to put up this image of being perfect and that it can't happen to them because they always have to say, oh, if you don't resist, this won't happen to you. I've seen that so many times. And they only do that when it happens with black people. And the thing is, it's like, what is your definition of resist at the end of the day? What is your definition? Like, please explain to me what is resisting to you. Because the thing is, when they say black people and they say so-called resist, all for them it would mean is if a black person even dare question a cop's authority or question why they're doing this. Last I checked, you had the right to question why they pulled you over or this, that, and the third, but we're not allowed that right because in their eyes, we're not seen as human beings. Remember that 3/5 compromise? Like I said, I truly believe that thing is still in full effect. I truly believe it is. But they got a lot of nerve. They have a lot of nerve to pick and choose when it comes to situations such as these. And then when we tell them about themselves, it's a how dare you type of moment. How dare you say this about me and how dare you question me? Well, I'm going to throw it back on you. How dare you try to do the things that you've been doing and continue to do? They are so transparent, it's not even funny. I see straight through their little act as if they were a piece of glass. It's a dirty piece of glass, but I can still kind of see through it. But I'm going to go ahead and end the video on that note. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. If you have not done so already, make sure that you text the number that is pinned down in the comments below so you can receive notifications every time I go live or upload a new video.